Hello, everybody. Andrew Zimmern here. Welcome back to Spilled Milk. Ask Me Anything. Please subscribe right down below. There's a fantastic button for you. We would love to get you subscribing to Spilled Milk. Some fantastic questions this week. I'm excited. Jack asks, there are two kinds of people in the world. Ones who recline their chair on an airplane and ones who don't. Which one are you? Well, Jack, I'll tell you, if it's a long trip, I like to recline. But if it's anything under 3 hours, I'm crushing emails and working, and I don't recline my chair. But I sort of take exception to the question, because here's the reality. Yes, there are two kinds of people in the world. Some people like chocolate, some people like vanilla, some people like ketchup, some people like mustard. But everyone sometimes reclines and sometimes doesn't. But I always recline at Seder. Been working on that joke all day. Anne writes, I just saw you have a new show coming out on Outdoor Channel about wild game. It's actually called Wild Game Kitchen. It's the first stand and stir, chef behind a cutting board show that I've ever done, but it's a lot more than that. Super cool stuff, cooking over live fire, forage foods, and wild meats and fish and, wild game birds. But everything that we make in the show is designed for you to be able to make at home, whether you have that ingredient or not. So, for example, while I might make a pork curry with a wild hog shoulder, you can make it with conventional hog shoulder or make it with chicken legs. It's the recipe and the techniques, but it's a fun, great show. And I think it's going to be a huge monster hit for Outdoor Channel. I've always been a little apprehensive about trying game after trying some venison as a kid that wasn't my favorite. Well, this is the problem. Everyone over the age, I think it still happens today. Everyone's been traumatized as a kid by someone in the family who left the fish in the refrigerator for a couple days too long and then froze it anyway. Or didn't clean an animal properly in the field, and so it took on some funky flavors. Venison especially, all hoofed animals, venison, goat, kudu, all of it, antelopes, you name it, is the least gamey meat. It's so lean, it's so delicious. Everyone should be eating more of it. So Anne goes on to say, what kinds of wild game would you suggest trying and how should I prepare it? Oh my gosh, Anne, this show is for you. It premieres September 19th at 9 o'clock Eastern, and recipes are going to be at andrewzimmern.com and on outdoorchannel.com. So, give it, today's the 1st. Everyone's going to see this on the 2nd. 17 more days you can hold out, and you're going to have dozens and dozens and dozens of game recipes. You're going to love this. You're going to really love it. Ben writes, did you go to college? Where and what did you study? I went to Vassar College in Poughkeepsie, New York. Fantastic school. I was a double major. I studied history and art history and have a degree technically in both. But that's because I was on the 5.5-year program. So by the time I finally graduated, I had enough credits to earn that. It was not because I was some sort of rock star student. I would have been better off taking a gap year. I would do well for a year, then get kicked out for a semester of bad grades. Do well for a semester, then get kicked out for a semester for bad grades. Because I was just too busy being an exquisitely finely tuned specimen of an alcoholic and a drug addict. However, art history and history prepared me well for my job today. It's incredible to me, not just reading, writing, and thinking critically, but, art history, I would have professors that put a slide up on the wall and be able to tell you everything about 16th century Flemish culture, Northern European culture, just by looking at a portrait of a young woman standing by a window. And one year I was in a jungle market in central Nicaragua, and I held up a bowl of a stew that was made with offal, all the organ meats. And I just started telling the story of the people based on what I found in the bowl of soup. And I realized it sort of came full circle. And my college experience really defined me. So I hope that answers your question. Anyway, yes, Wild Game Kitchen coming out on the 19th. And we do have some game recipes on andrewzimmern.com, lots of them right now. Some fantastic pheasant recipes, some great squab recipes, but huge amounts of them are going to be dropping on September 19th when Wild Game Kitchen premieres. And don't ask me crazy letters, send me crazy letters. I have a sty or a filled pore in my eye that is causing me problems. So I'm putting hot compresses on. So that's why my left eye looks a little weird. Anyway, everybody have a great Labor Day weekend. See you next week.